Hey, what's going on YouTube? Jax here. Hey, today I want to talk to you about the importance of having a first aid kit with you in your pack. Now, there might be some dumbasses out there like me who had a first aid, has or have had a first aid kit in their pack and didn't use it. And I'm doing this video because on this past hiking trip that I went on the Pinhoti Trail, I ran into a circumstance like that. Had a first aid kit with me, knew it was in my pack, and I screwed it off. So I wasn't going to do a video, but I've told a few people about this situation. They're like, man, I want to see it, you sickos, you know who you are. Anyway, I am going to show this wound that I have, but let me give you a little bit of backstory first. It started out as a pimple while I was on the trail. And I noticed it, didn't really think anything. It was about the size of the writing side of a pinhead, so it wasn't that big. And like me, maybe some of you other people, you see a pimple, you pop it. So that's what I did, and so that was mistake number one. Number two, I popped the thing and I just left it. It was no big deal. I didn't think it was a big deal at all. So I left it that way and, finished my hike. I was only out there a couple of days. And I think I noticed this on, the morning of day 2. So I only had one more night after that. So I get home, didn't think anything of it, got home late in the afternoon and woke up next morning. It maybe looked a little bit worse, but not to the point where it was, worrisome or anything. So mistake number, what is this, 3, 4, 5 now? But I went and worked out in the yard the next day, and I was out. There's a lot of stumps out there. So I was in there, and I was digging the stumps up, my knees, and I was in shorts, so that was another mistake. And, it got full of dirt. Both of my knees were dirt. I was covered in dirt from head to toe. In any case. So another mistake is when I got done, I didn't go directly in and take a shower. I sat out there and, I drank a beer, and I actually probably drank 2 beers. And, then I went in and took a shower and, woke up the next morning and it was looking pretty bad. Not real bad, still not a cause of concern yet, but I still never took care of it. I didn't do anything. I just left it, and basically, after a couple of days, I took a picture of it, and I was like, man, I told my friend Great Nut, I said, man, I think I got bit while I was out there. I said, so watch yourself from now on. If you go out there and get bit, man, make sure you, check on it, And, but I was kind of just joking around with him when I said that because I wasn't checking on my own shit, So anyway, I sent him the picture, and he's like, dude, that doesn't look too good. You might want to go to the doctor. So I was like, yeah, whatever. So I woke up, went to bed, and I talked, because it was that night that I talked to him. Got up the next morning, and it was looking pretty bad. So I went to the doctor, because by this time it was swole up, and he was like, he lanced it. So in other words, he cut it, and he, drained the pus and liquid and blood and all that nasty junk out of it. And bandaged it up. He said it was a staph infection, sent me home with some antibiotics. But so I've been on antibiotics for, let's see, today is Tuesday, and I went to the emergency room, or actually not the emergency room, my primary care physician, on Wednesday morning. So tomorrow will be 7 days, and it is getting better. So what you're about to see is nothing compared to it was, 4 days ago. Anyway, if you don't want to if you're squeamish or something like that, you might want to just cut the video off now and go on about your business. So I'm going to turn this other camera on, and we're going to have a look at this bad boy. And no, I'm not proud of this, by the way. Alright, so first thing is, anytime you change or dress a room, make sure, even if you don't touch the wound directly, make sure that you wash your hands really good after. Hell, the tape almost hurts worse coming off. That's it, folks. It started off as a small pimple. My point is, do not mess around with stuff like this, y'all. If you get a wound while you're hiking, put some antibiotic, sterilize it if you can. Put some iodine on it. Even if it's just a little bitty pimple, do it, or else you might end up like this. Now, also, there's some misconceptions out there of, staph infection, it's for people with low immune systems and blah, 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 blah. Well, I talked to the doctor because I thought that myself. I was kind of worried about it. I was like, what's up, And he was like, no, staph lives everywhere. It lives in your nose, it's on the ground, it's on your body, and it just sits there and it waits for the opportunity to embed itself in a wound of yours. So don't mess around with this, folks. Peace. So just in case you want a closer look. Yep, that's it, folks. That is nasty. Real nasty. That right there is what you get for being a dumbass like me.